Hello and welcome to a next watch review. And today I have a beautiful Navitimer for you, and it's my newest acquisition, and it's already getting one of my favorite watches. It's the Breitling Navitimer in 41mm case diameter, and it's the chronograph version with the B01 movement. And it's a really beautiful and great watch. Let's start first of all with the dimensions of the watch. It has a case diameter of 40.5mm, so 41 is it's officially stated. So yeah, it's a little bit smaller than that, and we have a lug-to-lug distance of 47mm, and the case thickness is 13.7mm, but keep in mind that the overall side profile is a little bit thinner, and especially because the sapphire crystal, as you can see it right now, is slightly domed and has a beautiful shape. So yeah, and as you can see, this side profile appears a little bit thinner than you might suggest, so it wears very good and beautiful on the wrist. We have this version is with the steel bracelet, has a lug width of 22mm and tapers down to a butterfly deploying clasp with the lug width with a width of 18mm. No micro adjustment right there, and yeah. So we have also a see-through case, but we will come back at it when we are going to discuss about the movement. And yeah, let's go for the overall aesthetics. We have different kind of Navitimer. This one is the 41, as I mentioned. It's the smallest version for the males, if I might say that. There are also smaller versions for the female, but they are a little bit too small for man's wrist. So yeah, this is the smallest size for man's wrist, and I would suggest that you have at least around 16 centimeters of wrist size to wear this watch properly. And yeah, why did I choose the chronograph? First of all, I really like this overall dial. Especially it is because it is has this ice blue dial with a sunburst finishing, and it's really beautiful. I also like this AOPA logo, and I don't mind that it's not the typical winglet sign from Breitling, because I also find this AOPA sign really aesthetic pleasing. And I also like the chronograph because it has a little bit of contrast between the subdials and the bezel, and because the bezel is black and the dial is ice blue, the overall watch size gets a little bit smaller on the wrist, and it appears a little bit smaller than you might think of a 41mm watch. So yeah, it mimics a little bit a diver's bezel, and I like this fact. I also like this red accents and red second hand, and yeah, that's a really plus in my opinion. I will show you afterwards in the catalog the other variation of the Navitimer. And yeah, I don't like a Navitimer where also the bezel is the same color, because the overall dial is then a little bit too big in my opinion. So it loses some charm in my opinion. Yeah. So we have a sapphire crystal with some really great anti-reflective coating. We have it on the outside and on the inside, and as you can see, it has some blue tinge to it. As you can see the reflection of my lamps, and they appear a little bit bluish. But the overall anti-reflective coating is really great. So it appears sometimes that there's no glass at all visible, and in combination with this beautiful dial, it's perfect. And yeah, case finishing is great. The overall finish of the watch is also really great. As you can see, there are no markings or any signs or imperfection on the watch itself. And yeah, great. So let's zoom in a little bit. So we have a chronograph, typical, very nice, smooth operation. The reset is also functioning very good. The first time you push this button, it's really hard to press. So as you can see, you need a lot of force. But the second and every following operations are very smooth. So yeah, that's a thing to notice. The bezel is really smooth, and as you know from the Navitimer, you can make any calculations with this bezel. I am too stupid to remember everything, so yeah, you have to probably look it up. And if I'm being honest, I'm not using it for this. It's only a little bit of a gimmick or toy for me, and I just enjoy the overall cluttered and overwhelmingly beautiful dial of this watch, and yeah, that's the only reason. I also like this date window here at the 6 o'clock sub dial, and it's beautifully integrated. We only have a water resistance of 30 meter, so keep that in mind. So you should not go swimming with this watch. And yeah, 2 positions, yeah, one for the quick set function of the date, and with the other location or the other set, we can set the time. And yeah, so we have applied indices, and with some superluminova glowing green in the dark. I will show it afterwards in a Lume shot. We have the B01 movement, and it's a really, really exceptional good movement. And if you didn't know, it's really one of the class leading chronograph movements, and it's the in-house movement from Breitling. And I think overall, if you go for a Breitling watch, you should probably pick one with this movement inside it, because it's a really, really, really great movement. And also you have to consider that every watch with this movement or some variation of this movement have a in-house 5-year guarantee from Breitling. And the other movements are typically bought from ETA or some ETA movements, and you only have 2 years of warranty. So yeah, that's also a thing that you should have to consider. Maybe I can get a little bit better picture of the movement. So as you can see, it's a really beautiful movement. We have a column wheel, yeah, as you can see right here. Now, beautifully smooth and operating with the column wheel. And yeah, a really great movement. 70 hours of power reserve, so really great. You can keep it on the weekend and don't wear it, and you are good to go for the Monday to wear it again, and everything runs fine as it should. So let's also make a Lume shot. So there's enough lume to read the time, and yeah, that's probably it for the lume. So let's go for the price. Okay, the watch is, in my opinion, a little bit overpriced. Overpriced for the fact because you can get it for a lot less on the secondary market. So you have to pay pay 9,300 euros for the steel bracelet version, and it's the 41 millimeter version. So everything above this 41 millimeter costs a little bit more. And yeah, you can also get it on a leather strap, and it's 400 euros, about 400 euros cheaper if you go for the leather strap. The leather strap is also looking very nice, so it's also a very good option in my opinion. And yeah, it's so you can get it cheaper on the secondary market after, like I mentioned. For example, this watch I have bought for 6,600 euros in used. So yeah, it's, in my opinion, for 6,600 euros, it's a really great watch. And yeah, the only negative I can think about is the water resistance of only 30 meters. But if I'm being honest, I would never go swimming with a Navitimer. But I know for a fact that a lot of you are want to have at least 100 meter of water resistant to feel secure to wear this watch as an everyday watch. So yeah, keep that in mind, that it doesn't have this water resistance that you might thinking of. Thin has also a variation of the Navitimer, but in my opinion the thin version is too thick, too bulky, and it is not that smooth and elegant like this watch. And I think this watch is a little bit dressier, and I think it also looks very beautiful on the wrist. 6 3/4 inches wrist size, 17 centimeters, and as you can see, let's zoom. So, as you can see, as I mentioned, it doesn't appear too thick from the side profile. And if you want, you can go also for a non-chronograph version, and it is even thinner than this watch. So yeah, it really wears great on my medium size wrist. So as you already can see, you have to have at least like 16 or 17 centimeters to wear this watch. I could probably also go for the 43 millimeter version, but I wanted it a little bit smaller, elegant, so that I can also wear it as a dress watch if I want to. And I think with this bracelet, it really looks great. And yeah, one quick note. I wanted to show you the catalog and some variation. This is the official catalog of Breitling. And as you can see, there are some different variation where you can make some calculations with it. Like I mentioned, I can't remember anything at all. You have to make it at every day so that you are mesmerizing it correctly. But in my opinion, it's okay to just have the look of it. These are the 46 chronograph Navitimers, and the 46 millimeters. That's also a big negative from my side, because you can't get every variation in every size, and it's a little shameful. And I also will tell you what my problem was with this watch. For example, as you can see, we have some also gold variation. Now we have the 43 millimeters, and I think the 43 millimeters have the most beautiful watches of all of them. Like this ice blue dial, like I have in 43. And we also have some green and copper-like color and silver. And we also have some wet gold variation. This is a limited one. Now we are coming to the 41 millimeters. And here's the thing. As you can see on the 41 millimeter, there's not the copper dial version. And there's also the problem that this one, the 41, like I have to purchase this watch from Japan, because it is not possible to purchase this watch from a German concessionaire or German boutique or from the website in 41 millimeter. And I can't understand this fact. Why do I have to purchase a watch from Japan if I want this one in 41 millimeter? That's the thing that needs to be changed, in my opinion. And yeah, this is also the monochromatic versions, in my opinion. And as you can see, the dial is a lot bigger, and so the overall watch appears also a little bit bigger, in my opinion, because the dial is so big. And it's in the same way. We have also the Navitimer with the GMT function. It's also monochromatic, but I don't like the fact that we have a Breitling 32 movement inside it with 42 hours of power reserve, and as I mentioned, 2 years guarantee. And here with the B01 movement, we have 5 years of guarantee. So yeah, so I can't understand why why someone would want to buy a Navitimer to get some kind of a Celita or ETA movement inside it, and not for that price. So if I'm willingly to buy a Breitling, you should always go for the manufacturer movement, for the in-house movement, for the B01 movement. So everything else is, in my opinion, a downside. Yeah, so that's basically it. After that we have only 36, so 41 to 36, and 36 is, in my opinion, more like a woman's size, and also the color appears to be only for women, as you can see. I mean, look at that, it doesn't appear to be for men at all. Maybe these variations, they are totally fine also for men if you have really small wrist, but yeah, that's basically it. The rest are a little bit too small, in my opinion, for men's wrist. Okay, that's it for the review. As I mentioned, I really adore this watch. I think it's a so beautiful watch, especially in this variation, or every variation where you have this black with a sunray finished dial, and with the 3 sub-dials, because the chronograph function is aesthetically more pleasing, in my opinion, than the GMT or GMT version, and also because of the in-house movement and the 5 years of warranty. One negative I want also to mention, we have screw down crown, no, not the screw down crown, we have screwed links, but the problem is you have to remove both these links to remove one link. And here's the big problem. This half link, if you want to resize it on yourself, don't do it like I have done here, and I totally fucked up. Sorry, I screw up this screw because it's so difficult to change it. You have to have 2 screwdrivers and something to fix this half link, because every time you try to unscrew this screw, it keeps spinning on the other side. So you need some kind of tool to hold in this screw and then unscrew it on the other side. So yeah, I tried everything. I just also ordered some different kind of tools, and I still ended up going to the Breitling boutique to resize this bracelet. Yeah, just a tip from my side. Okay, that's it overall. I hope you enjoyed the video, and leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content. And as always, stay safe and goodbye.